Talmud of Jmmanuel. This is a document which the title means the spiritual teachings of Jesus, of Emmanuel, the one with godly wisdom. And Billy's teacher for a number of years was some colleagues of the Pleiadians and from a different extraterrestrial group, and the lady from that group is called Asket, and Asket was telling Billy about this Talmud of Jmmanuel document, that this was an Isa Rashid, who had been a Greek Orthodox priest, and he was a friend of Billy Meier. And in the Middle East, they were in Israel, and here's some of the locations there: Dome of the Rock, the Wailing Wall over here, and this may have been the location of Golgotha, the crucifixion. This is the Hinnom Valley, the south side of the old walled city of Jerusalem. And at this location, this is the south side of the Hinnom Valley. This is facing north that way. But Billy Meier was told, Billy and Isa Rashid were told, if they'd go to a certain place on the side of the valley, it's more like a big canyon, and they were told they could look and find about a 1-foot diameter hole in the side of the cliff there, the side of the hillside, and they could enlarge that and they could go in. And they did. They found that there was a bush there beside it called a marimi bush, and the marimi bush, that's one of the pollens, incidentally, on the Shroud of Turin, marimi bush. But they found a marimi bush there. They went inside, they enlarged it, and they looked with their flashlights, and it was the size of a small room, maybe about as big as 2 Volkswagen minibuses put together side by side. And they could stand up in there, and Asket had told them beforehand to pick up the flat stones on the floor and look for a cavity, and they did, and they found a stone box with a stone lid, and they took that out, and they took the lid off, and inside there were Aramaic scrolls in preservative resin. They took that and deciphered it. They were able to get a translation from the Aramaic into German and later into English. And that is where the Talmud of Jmmanuel scroll comes from. Celestial Teachings by Dr. Jim Deerdorf is a verse-by-verse comparison between the verses in Matthew, the traditional book of Matthew, and the Talmud of Jmmanuel. And all of the logic and the reasons, the explanation about why Matthew was censored and altered, things cut out, things put in more than 200 places. And when you compare the Talmud of Jmmanuel passage with the Matthew passage, and you'll see that the Talmud of Jmmanuel, it really, really has the ring of truth again and again and again, the ring of truth. It's like reading Matthew, what the Bible, the New Testament scholars call Proto-Matthew, the original book of Matthew. But it's a wonderful book, and you can get that online if you're interested. Celestial Teachings, very well written. The Pleiadians mentioned, by the way, about the Talmud of Jmmanuel, they say, in their opinion, it's the most important. They believe that it's the most important and valuable book an earth human can own and study. And that's a pretty powerful endorsement. The most valuable and important book an earth human can own and study, the Talmud of Jmmanuel.